Hi, I'm Aaliyah,
And I'm Johnna, and
and
welcome to
welcome to
Lit
Lit
and
and Loud.
Loud.
We're doing fine. Everything's fine. Dumpster
Everything's so
behind me on
good.
fire.
Yeah.
Fire. Hi, guys.
Welcome back. Welcome to our part 3 of Fabulous Bodies by Chuck Tingle, where we see the conclusion of what happens to our friend Poppy. So if you want to jump directly to book coverage, please look in the show notes for the timestamp so you can jump right there. And if you want to hear us talk, please stay right here because we are here for you.
Buckle up. We've been through
Buckle
the fucking
up.
ringer. So remember last week?
Yeah. We've been in this recording for at least 2 hours.
The devil wants to keep us down. The devil
Yeah.
wants to keep the divas down. The universe, someone's in retrograde, someone's in ravioli, whatever it is.
Who is it? Who's in Gatorade? Tell me.
Who's a Gatorade?
Unhand our
I'm
voodoo
stressed.
dolls.
I'm stressed. You have real life tangible things that are happening to you, so I'm so sorry to be like, the divas are down.
Okay. No.
Not-
We're collectively down because we move forward as one. I saw this
Unit.
meme the other day that was like, yes, you are my friend, but in other terms, you are my wife. And like that's how I feel. Like we're
Yeah.
in this together.
Yeah, that's right. When you're down, I'm down.
Yeah.
So upset
Yeah.
all of yesterday, the day before. Huffing and puffing, kicking my feet.
I'm not ready to hard launch my news, actually. I might talk about it in 20 minutes, but I'm
That's fine. Slide in
stage
there where it
fright.
feels good. Well, what are you reading? What's fueling your soul with books?
I read 3 books this week. So I'm currently reading It Came From the Closet, which was on my Pride TBR in a non-tangible way, but it is like a collection of short stories. And knowing how I am as a reader, these rarely hit for me because they just seem so disjointed, even though they have the same theme.
Yeah.
So no one come after me, but Never Whistle at Night didn't hit for me. Some stories did, some didn't. And jumping around like that is not usually my thing. So this is hearing from a bunch of different queer people on how they fell in love with horror and why and things like that. So it is kind of cool. But I have been reading this book for 6 weeks and I just drop in for a story and I'm like, yeah, and move on. So it's not
Yeah.
quite hitting for me. I should probably DNF it now that I've said all this, actually. That would
You know
that
what?
would honor
Stand
me.
true.
I read an arc this week called Homesick by Rhiannon and Grist, which is a Scottish horror, like folklore situation.
Okay.
It released on Tuesday. It was good. It was very worth a read. It was very creepy. Our main girl, Tamsin, which is the most, European name I've ever heard in my life. She is a delightfully unreliable narrator in a way where you're very in your own head, trying to figure out what's real, trying to figure out if she's misremembering or something's happening and going on, or
Yeah.
and you kind of like get her backstory in chunks. So yes, I very much like this book. I highly recommend that. It is now out. And then I read, huge week for me in horror, actually, now that I'm reading
Yeah.
all these, Nothing Tastes as Good by Luke Dumas. This book was crazy. It was very The Substance. Do you know anything about it?
I don't, but I loved The Substance. Body horror?
Okay, body horror, The Substance, through and through. This man who has struggled with obesity his entire life. This is fucking traumatizing. Do not get me wrong. This hit in the same way You Weren't Meant to Be Human did with the level of body horror at times, because it is this is deeply close to home. It's someone that struggled with weight their entire life, and they go on this drug trial for a miracle drug that is going to make them skinny. by restructuring their DNA to become thin. It's him. It's told through blog posts of him, like, blogging through his whole life, but also him interacting with the medical company and his family and trauma from the past and him getting thinner. There is a scene in it, and I read some fucked up shit. There is a scene in this that made me retch in my car while driving.
Ooh, I want to read it now.
I was horrified. Yes, it was a very good read, but I mean, fellow friend, be ready to have so much body commentary laid out in this. It is it's like unnerving because it's very close to home, and that's the reality of the situation. But yes, the substance for people with fat trauma. This book, if you want to get freaked out.
Yeah, I feel like there's something about summer and horror and body horror specifically. Like 2 summers ago, I had a real horror moment, and we're reading this, and I've like reread it now too. So I feel like I'm just in this realm and unhinged shit. I feel like this is the season. I don't know. I'm not like a seasoned reader. I know a lot of like the fantasy girlies are, and like some like cozy romance bitches are, but I'm not a seasoned reader. I go with the vibe, and I feel like the vibe is so around horror, you know, watching Obsession too, and like having these, all of this media is.
And I will say, Nothing Tastes as Good takes place in San Diego, which is somewhere I've been multiple times. So all the landmarks, I was like, oh, I know that. Oh, I know that. Oh, I know that. So that was really fun. And it's summer. It's always summer in San Diego. So I was like, summer, and Fabulous Bodies screams summer, which was really fun. So I think this is seasonal reading. I did talk to someone recently who said, I saw that someone said that they immersive read by reading books in the season they're in. And I was like, I never even thought of that, but now we're here discussing it, and it makes sense.
It does. It does.
What are you reading?
Well, this book's a little interesting. So I received this as an ARC last year, and I didn't get around to it because life is lifing, and I got an audio for it. So I was like, well, let me read it and actually review it and maybe boost my NetGalley numbers. So all of this.
I was going to say, can we get an update on your...
Ooh. 53.
On your NetGalley.
Ooh! 53.
Hold on.
Clock it, bitches.
I haven't done a gimmick in a while.
Celebrate me. Yes. I'm at 53%, percent for my feedback ratio, which is not... Here's my gripe, though. I submitted 2 reviews in 1 week, and it didn't budge. Like, the first one moved me to 53, but I didn't budge again, so I'm a little confused.
Was it old, or was it... Did it not?
No,
fully
they were
submit?
all recent. They were all recent. Nothing had been archived either. I don't know. And like when I'm reading Kindle books, because I'm reading 2 Kindle books right now, and like I'm switching back and forth, I feel like it's so much pressure. And learning that audio was an option on NetGalley, I'm much happier, and I can like read in the way that I like to. And I just need to like not fight myself. But sometimes there's books that I want that are not offered in audio, and you bitches get me. And by bitches, I mean you authors, because they sound good.
Real.
Yes, this is an arc that I finally caught up with. It is A Good Person by Kristen King. This is about a girl whose boyfriend breaks up with her, and she winds up drunkenly putting a hex on him. He ends up dying the next day under like some suspicious circumstances, and she starts scrambling. And this book...
Share the recipe.
Oh my God. Right? So, like, if I could describe it, this book, it's like Big Swiss meets Best Offer Wins meets Yellowface. I was like, what's the middle? Yellowface. There are so many elements to this. So it's first person POV through the protagonist. Her name's Lillian. When you think of Margot being like unlikable, hard to swallow, like this from the jump, this person is so deeply unlikable. She is a classic narcissist. So like this, like trigger warning. This will make you, if you have a narcissist in your life, this made me viscerally angry. So she was the final boss of unreliable narrators. That's what I said in my review, because I could not sum up the fucking shit that happens in this book. Everything just keeps snowballing, and it gets worse and worse. And her internal monologue is fucking crazy, because it's a crazy person. And I'm saying that wholeheartedly as a narcissist.
This is like akin to Homesick, because I skimmed the reviews and everyone's like, Tamsin is so unlikable. It is impossible to root for her because of her actions.
Oh,
so
100.
Same kind of energy.
Yeah, I mean, people are like our anti-hero. But like, people are DNFing this book. It's so bad, which fuels me because I love an unreliable narrator. Yeah, unhinged bitch, weird girl lit fic, a little bit of Gone Girl too. You're rooting for her because she's a woman, and like this her boyfriend was not good to her boyfriend. I'm putting that in quotes. He was not good to her. So there's like this element that you're kind of rooting for her, and then she quickly slips into a space that is just the worst person you've ever met, and the bitch So like, there's
Can I
so
tell
many...
you how crazy this cover goes too?
Yeah. So that's the other thing that got me. And I think this is a debut, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Which the writing in it is insane. So definitely recommend this. This is like one of my top reads of the year for like unhinged bitch kind of reading. I highly recommend this. I literally did not want to stop listening to it, so that's always a good sign in my book.
I love that.
Yes.
What the one you're thinking about, and you're interacting with someone, you go in the bathroom and turn it on for 2 minutes because you're like, what's happening? I
was driving for work, and I had to do I do lunch and learns for my job, and I was in a lunch and learn legit thinking about this character because I work in mental health, and she's so like classic narcissist. It's got a good twist too, so there's just a lot of good elements, and it kept me fed because I was entering a slump.
Love that.
I was feeling myself getting slumpy, and I had a lot of options presented to me. When your Libby's too much and you're like, I don't even know where to start. And also because we have like objectives, we're reading things for interviews.
Yeah, we're grinding
so it's like,
right now.
I have to balance it, and I was ripping. The first 2 weeks this month, I've been ripping through books. Like, I think I'm already up to like 6 books that I've read. And what else? Oh, so I also read Dungeons and Drama by Kristy Boyce. Literally
cute.
All I have to say is
cute.
And I am not a YA girly. I am not. And this
Isn't there
so
something
cute.
So cleansing about something so easy to digest?
Easy and happy.
Just enough strife.
Just enough. And then like strife that you're like, I can feel you, because I was feeling this little girl. I was like, her whole situation going on. Fucking musical being canceled, divorced parents. She has a bad relationship with her dad. Like there's like some real stuff in here, but like the big dilemma is like, it's fine. It's
fake
so
dating,
cute. Fake dating. Yeah.
It was tasteful. It was lovely.
Nerdy element to it too. I literally have no notes. I got to get to the color guard girl because I'm a her and I, that color guard bitch. But yes, I loved this. I am not a YA girly, so this was like a choice, and I am so glad I took it. And the writing was excellent. It was excellent.
Excellent.
Delivered on every front.
I ripped through this, loved the story, just enough stress, just enough joy.
Just a little bit of peril.
So well done. Yeah.
Yes. It was good. That's all I needed.
The world gets saved at the end, and everyone's happy.
Everyone's happy, and everyone gets their way, and that's what I really want.
Can you take a full 180 turn from that real quick?
Hey. So I'm going my strategy right now is that everything's kind of equal in my Libby on importance, and I have time, but I have things expiring. So I'm going by expiration. And one of the things that's kind of been on my rotation is Pounded by Produce by GM Ferry, which is a 5-hour read, which should be easy. But I was like heavy lifting crafting yesterday and listening to this.
Yeah.
And I got pretty far in. I think I have like an hour left. And
okay,
this is wild. I didn't put anything here because I'm like, I need to have like big thoughts about it. But so far, I have like big thoughts about this too. A lot about like consent, which I understand. I am taking this as seriously as I will. But as a dark romance girly, there are authors are very intentional about consent. Some aren't. And there's some subgenres that are very much so not centered around consent. Right. Yeah. But the stuff that I read, it's very clearly like, I've never wanted this more. So there's a little bit of I gotta see how it plays out to form a full opinion.
Yeah.
But this book is surprising.
You have to finish this.
You said it's surprising.
It's
and I was like, it's
surprising.
It's surprising and like not what I expected to base. You know, when you get got by a book, the description was one of those tricksy ones where I was like, this is something. And the cover is so stupid. Like, I want it on my shelf, you know? I didn't even finish it yet. Yeah. It's going to be a 5-star, you know?
So, yeah. I'm very, very curious for you to finish it because I think that we're going to have a lot of conversation about this because this book, to me, is very interesting and turns out it explores some really heavy themes. And this is a book that you just don't expect to turn out to be sad. I was like, I'm going to read a produce smut.
Because it sounds silly. Yeah, no, it is. It already from the jump doesn't feel like what silly. It was. It was not silly. Yeah, I've been liking it, and it's just something else. Yeah. You know, I gotta cleanse with all of my genres. What are you watching?
Gone. What am I watching?
Oh my God, those.
This is the only reason we had to record this.
Oh, did you make those? Oh my God. Cunt.
I'm probably just going to wear them. Okay.
Do it.
I am watching The Vampire Lestat, episode 6. This is the penultimate episode in a way that made me fucking sick. So, we're just going to roll from the beginning. Spoilers ahead.
Yes.
This opens up in the most beautiful way because we see that Louis de Pontdulac and Lestat de Liancourt are reunited.
The boys are back together, guys.
Yes. Our dads are dating again, and it's everything. So, they're back together. All is right in the world. And my heart is happy. The pacing of this episode was so calm.
So, we romantic.
Are used to so much chaos in this season. And we are back. We are grounded. They are back together. And there's a lot of commentary out there right now, whose perspective is this from? Louis' hair doesn't look like that unless Lestat's looking at him. We know that this is through Lestat.
Yes.
And he is at peace with Louis back.
And of course, the very last scene in this, you feel it. You're here. It is so much more romantic. It's less chaotic.
Yes. The music's back. The instrumental music from those first couple of seasons, those moments they're together. And we've had
masterclass.
Such brash music this season that this is such a moment. And it's everything.
They're so effortless together, and the way that they carry, when they walked into that restaurant to talk to Mr. Daniel,
the peace in my heart,
our dads,
genuinely, our dads, and we get this beautiful scene. So this is, I guess, that first episode where he was handing out candy was 2023. So we are 2 years on Halloween past that. And we see Lestat putting out his little candy cauldron for the kids to take.
He loves the trick-or-treaters.
He loves Halloween. His costume is so cunt because he's in hiding because he's dead. Same. I'm also in hiding because I am dead. And I've seen so much from the costuming, and it is so gorgeous, the outfits they pulled this episode. And Louis' hair, I have it in the notes later.
That's one of my notes. He looks incredible this whole season.
Only through our baby's eyes.
I can't even. He's so beautiful in this season. I just I want to kiss him. He's so
my
sweet.
God. Yes.
He's a little baby angel. He's a very cherub-like.
We get to the restaurant that Louis de Pontdulac opened up 2 blocks away from Lestat's apartment. Okay.
Gay.
And Daniel Malloy looks at them and says, Taylor and Travis, congratulations. Have you set the date yet? Which the show writers have discussed and said, it felt like we predicted the future. This was filmed a year ago. They had no idea. And same with them saying Drake dropped 51 songs today.
I would say the Drake comment. I
don't know why Drake's getting any promo, which kind of pisses me off, but but, you know.
It is funny, though.
Whatever.
It's even funnier knowing the context,
So
too. They were like,
funny.
shot in the dark.
Shot in the dark. But hearing Daniel Malloy say the Taylor and Travis comment, I was like, this is living proof that I'm in a simulation. Like, you don't have to convince me my life's not real, because I know. Because my vampire show referenced Tay's wedding, and I'm like, this is too much.
Too much.
I was just goofing. I was like, what the fuck?
Rips right from the start.
Yeah, and he's concluding their interview, or he's lying about it. Fucker. But
he's a terrible liar.
I'm still wondering how Malloy ended up doing Lestat's documentary, because remember, we had that moment where Lestat was like, yeah, my manager picked you, and he was like, I was told you requested me. So, like, no one knows how they've ended up together. Yeah, I assume it was the Telemasca, but I don't know. And we get
your guess is
Tan Daniel, which is crazy. He says he's seeing someone again. The Armand, the Devil's Minion moment, which is so fucking crazy.
It's very frightening now, because I rewatched it just a little while ago, and like hearing all of these and like watching the way that Daniel reacts too. Like, he is so bad. And you know, when they're in the car after and they're like, Lestat's like, he's just an awkward man. Like, he is just about the gotcha. Like, they're not thinking
that better than you complex. They are not thinking about it.
No, they're not. They're not even suspecting anything. And like, because this is so out of left field for him.
Do you watch the like after, like the breakdown after, and then the after show too? Because in that, Jacob Anderson said, he's like, they could not pick up on what he was laying down, and they played directly into it.
Because they were schmoozing. The boys were together. It was fine. And then they had bigger things on the mind. They had Claudia on the mind. They had talked about it after. Like, there was a lot of that, like, weighing down this moment. Because it comes up in the beginning, few scenes, multiple times. Do we cancel? We should cancel tonight. And that obviously took precedent in their mind.
Mm-hmm. Right. We get this beautiful car scene of Lestat just like, and I sent you the meme. Lestat, if you see my wife yelling at me, I'm exactly where I want to be. D. Leoncourt. Like, that's my boy. And two things happen in this car scene, this first car scene, because we get two car scenes and they're very different. It's before and after the rehearsal. The first one is Louis telling Lestat to give the fans what they want. In that scene of him just looking from the back as he's singing to those fans. And that's such a beautiful moment. And that tells us that Louis is finally understanding who Lestat is. Because I know that he apologized. I never understood this gift. I never got it. But he just never got who Lestat was, or, you know, you can kill these people, but you don't have to play with them, that kind of thing. And him being like, give those fans exactly what they want, tells me that Louis has experienced so much growth.
Yes.
And with that, he says, go out there and give them Lilio. And in the book, it was Harlequin. So his understanding of Lestat as a person, what characters drive him, is so much bigger in that 4-minute car scene than we have gotten in 3 seasons of this show. And that is so deeply important to me. And that's also an incredible writing situation for luring us into feeling safe.
Right. Double that down. Yeah, no, Louis, the way that he is perceived in this too, again, we're looking through Lestat's lens, so everything is also like in this very loving way, so we're falling in love with Louis and his actions too. Redeeming Claudia with the Bruce situation, all of these things, and like his small interactions with Lestat and how important they are to him. The same way he's always on Lestat's mind, Louis has been thinking about Lestat in this way, and having all of this information and all of these elements. He now is like, he gets to be at peace. I think it's like, that's really what it is. It's the peace that it brings him to then support. Right. He's like, I finally am seen for everything that I am too. So it's like, the boys are back together. I'm sorry.
Boys are back together.
I was feeling way too good in the beginning of this episode.
Oh, way too good. So then we get to rehearsal. Lestat jumps up and does that spin. His whole, like, I have been listening to this music for weeks. In the Dancing with Myself, I've skipped through, but watching him perform that, like behind everyone in his little spin moment, I'm like, this is the cute. That was the Lestat that was in with Akasha. That was Scoop Lestat.
Silly little guy.
And it was just beautiful to see. And then we get this moment where he's up there dicking around, and Gabriella looks at Louis and says, oh, he's so shy. And Louis says it's so hard to be him because he's up there living his fucking best life. And Louis and Gabriella have this moment of bonding that is so fucked up because they are both gazing upon the person they love most. And I'm like, this would be cute if
this wasn't weird. Yeah, that whole like back and forth was so like, we know him best.
Crazy.
Like that was too much. I can't.
Yeah,
these glasses are really turning this section up. What are we gonna do when it's done next week?
And then Lestat sings Brutal Love. Gabriella thinks it's about her. It's not about her, baby. It's about Louis.
Never.
And they stare into each other's fucking eyes and cry. The whole episode felt like the church scene of Lestat about to turn Louis. Like, if that 2 minutes was a full episode, we got to live in there.
Yes, that is a perfect comparison. That like romantic gothic, I will do whatever, just helpless,
Come to me,
yearning. It's just sick. What they do to us this episode is sick. Because now
I'm so fucked up.
We haven't gotten to the worst parts.
No. Just a small insert of Lestat saying he should pull Armand up on stage and spank him.
The Armand
Cut the
slander
fucking camera.
through and through feeds me this whole season.
We get this little touch where Gabriella asks Lestat if he's packing, implying that they are going to travel together again. And we know that this is bad. I am just so sad for him because their relationship dynamic is so sad because he is so abused by her. It has been since he was a fucking mortal.
And like manipulated in a really gross, sick way. There's so many layers to it now. It's icky. The feel it's icky is probably 18 million times ickier for Lestat and confusing and really just, I'm ready for her to be out. What's next? Oh God. I know what's next.
We get in the car. We leave rehearsal. It comes out. What does he say? Like, are you entering the same hole you came out of?
He's like, it's against nature. You're going through this. You're going into the same hole you came out of. Like,
and then Lestat says, well, technically there's the womb and then there's the cervix. And then he realizes he's been had and Louis this mad. Watching him puke. He straight up pukes. He is so stressed out. Like a little kid, he throws up. And this made me want to puke.
He is like so viscerally upset in this scene and like hyperventilating and like the blood coming down his face.
The stutter comes back.
The stutter. The stutter.
The regression. Like, the fear of being found out because he knows like this is abuse.
Yeah.
Like we know that this is abuse. He knows, but he can't get out of it. And someone said
crazy.
Armand and Lestat are very similar in the way that they have both been abused as kids even, but Lestat's still in his abuse.
Right.
Armand is away from his abuse. Lestat is still actively trying to be in the good graces of his abuser.
Right.
This man has never done anything wrong in his fucking life.
He's been traumatized.
I'm ill.
Yeah. And this whole scene on the sidewalk when they get out of the car, like that, it's one of those where you're like, I don't feel great.
Oh my God. I don't feel great. And good for him for advocating for himself when he was like, when you told me that you were fucking paying someone to be Claudia, I didn't tell you you were sick.
No.
And then when he yells in the middle of my own fracturing. Cut the fucking camera.
Snot.
And he's like stuttering. And then when Louis
sad.
finally sinks down here, I have seen on many accounts that end scene where they end up like lodged up against the wall and hugging, and like Louis pulls him in, like kisses the back of his head, was improvised. That was not in the script. And
Don't tell me things like that. Johnna, do not tell me things like that. I cannot handle.
I can. I can't. And this is very much not the point, but Lestat's hair looks so fucking good in that scene.
He looks good always. Like they never let him look crazy unless he's supposed to look crazy. He always is in the best, and I'm so glad for it. Same with Louis.
BB.
Louis looks so good.
Those curls on Louis' hair. Someone said date me. So then we end up in the bar, and this is something very important to me because Lestat's talking about Gabriella, and Louis compares Gabriella to his cousin that sexually assaulted him, telling me that Louis now understands where we have arrived.
Very quickly too, guys.
This is abuse. Very quickly. Yes, you're getting this beautiful thing where in the first 2 seasons they just kind of stifle each other, or in the first season they kind of repress, and you know, Louis just kind of goes along with it, and now they're having these active conversations about, hey, that's really fucked up, we're kind of fucked up, and Louis saying like, that's not who I wanted to be, sorry about that, let me pivot, let me restart this conversation. Yeah. And I think that is such, I mean, it's been almost 100 years. He was with Armand for 77 years. So it's been, what, 80? Growth, my babies?
Hey, growth, and takes men that long to grow. No, I'm kidding. I think also...
Is she?
I think also there's a piece of like the humanizing that comes in here too. There's a lot of it that happens in season 1 because we have Louis' perspective, and he's basically trying to find those parts of him from the beginning that were still him. And like you said, the push, the pull, the repression of everything, like it speaks to the human level of things. And this whole episode, when you put it to it, it is very much so that level that we're getting them. We're getting connected back into it. We got to talk about it.
Yes, we get the seance.
Yes, we are here. We made it to
one
the
of the worst things to ever happen to me.
This, I gotta say, this was top tier television.
Cried.
Yeah.
Again
yeah,
today.
I cried the second time. Hold on. Delaney Hayes deserves her fucking flowers here, because this, when you have one scene to act in such a huge show with huge personalities and huge characters, and you come swinging like she did here, it is so thoroughly impressive. And the after interview, she was very big on talking about like the process, and she's like, they let me go further. They let it go wide open. So there's
they just told her she couldn't wreck the cello.
Yes, she's like, don't break that, please. Yeah. So I think there's a lot of commentary around the scene too, and like the writing and everything about it. People are going as far as calling the NAACP about it, which is crazy, and please don't do that. But I think, again, you have to think about... So, you didn't hear about this?
No.
Okay, so a lot of people, and honestly, it's a lot of white people, because there's a ton of black fans that are into this show. Like, a ton. There's like a whole group.
I would literally say 80% of the people I interact with on Threads are black fans of this show.
Exactly. So a lot of people are really upset with there's 2 parts where she called Louis nappy-headed and said, oh, I saw that there were markings of a slave, that whole discussion. They're like, everyone in that room is all of the writers on the show are white. And then I'm like, but did we not watch the first 2 seasons here? I'm very like, people's like media literacy in general is very frightening. As someone who feels like I watch things very surface level, and honestly, like obviously I'm deep diving in this because we're in it, but like I feel like you should be able to collect and separate and whatnot. This is all personal. Everyone's going to have their own opinion on it, but like people are so upset about it and said it was such an atrocity, and like the fact that they'd phrased that, and a lot of this was improvised. I'm sorry. There's a piece of this too that I think, again, if you didn't watch the first 2 seasons, I feel like there's more to be upset with in the first season, if I'm going to be quite honest.
Right.
So I don't know. Some fans or some people are basically reaching out to the NAACP to like raise attention to this, which is just, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Even as a Black person, I'm like this. I mean, I feel about the NAACP. There are so many important things that they are doing, and this is not one of them that they should be handling. That feels fucking crazy. Please don't do that. I stand.
Does anyone want to talk about like the things that were fucking said in Euphoria?
Yeah,
in
like,
the hate crimey way. Like, do we want to talk
crimey...
about the fact that Rue got dragged behind a fucking horse? This feels crazy.
Right, coming out of a Black actress's mouth, and also having having known that a lot of this is improvised.
Also, I've talked about it before. They have modernized the story in such an aggressive way because Louis was a white slave owner. Instead, we get this incredible Black character.
Right. So robust. There's culture behind that. Again, did we not watch the same show for the first 2 seasons? So I know. So this is like, I think people are doing the thing where they get
by this. I'm shook.
Weird about media that I don't think deserves it. Like you said, the Euphoria thing was a perfect thing to highlight. There's so much, and there's so many eyes on a show like that too. There's so much happening in that, and like, I don't know. I think people need to go touch grass sometimes, and I know that's crazy coming out of the mouth of a girls who have been talking about this for a while, but like we need to remember the real issues at hand. As a person of color who also has been consuming the show for years, if you're any level of fan or if you've just watched it, you would understand how much those aspects play into this. And again, the delivery to Louis specifically she is so upset. So this is our first time getting Claudia through no one else's eyes. And I don't know if you feel Claudia. That real Claudia.
Sam Reed specifically said in an interview, this is the first time we ever see the real Claudia, not through Lestat and Louis' tainted eyes, which again is a perfect take on, I have never seen an unreliable narrator used like this, where we are getting so many layers of the same story in so many different ways,
which makes the scene what it is.
Heartbreaking.
I mean, the vitriol, the anger, Louis deserves it in every he does. He deserves it, and then some. Here's where like my Louis and Lestat defender comes away, especially with Claudia. It gets peeled away here because, especially with her relationship with Louis, the savior complex he has about this is kind of insane. And like the way that she takes that and then leverages it and is like, actually, you weren't even the main bitch. You weren't even my master. You couldn't even make me. You
weren't even my favorite. He knew who he was.
Right. And so like
her refusing to look at Louis
the whole time, girl. So
I was sick.
This whole scene, you get Claudia's full-fledged, like, this is what I'm feeling, like, you have completely, like, you ruined my life, you were the cause of this, worse than anyone else that I can remember ruining my life. With the seance piece of it, there's a level of like the unrest in the afterlife. I don't know if you've read some of this too, like there's a lot of that's pulled into this, and like why a spirit like this, who is obviously tortured, she's so tortured, we see it when she brings up Madeline later too, but like she's stuck in limbo, she's tortured, she cannot rest, there's no peace, and how they can pull from knowing the person that they're speaking to's greatest fears. There's some element of like voodoo, and they're playing off of basically. And Claudia hits where it fucking hurts for everyone in that goddamn room. She's like, this broke witch.
When she says that she lied about the fucking train to pit them against each other, like there's so many fucking layers in here. And Delaney said in an interview, because someone goes, where do you picture they pulled Claudia out of? And she goes, you know the scene in SpongeBob where they're delivering the Krusty Krab pizza and they're just going through this fucking wind tunnel and all this dirt's flying around them? That is where I picture they pull Claudia out of.
I mean, that's how she left. She left in that like fucking powdery, sandy, like that
haze of ash.
Haze of ash, exactly. Oh
fucking
my God.
Terrible.
That's genius.
But her pulling up to rip them a fucking new one and bash Merrick's teeth out for no fucking reason.
Right. And then double down. So she doesn't. So she comes back. She's summoned. She lays it on thick to Louis. She's like, she's done all of these things. She went through 'em.
You couldn't have left my fucking dress on the wall.
Right. Like,
She knew. She's
like, to make you feel better.
All.
So, and then she's like, actually, I'm going to come back. And Lestat's, he's like, please just lay into me. Give me what you got. And like her doubling down and using this opportunity for herself is like the first time I've ever felt good for Claudia in this whole show. I'm gonna be honest. This whole scene, I'm like, fuck yeah, tear them to pieces. The two men I love. Like,
right.
So I feel like this that's why it felt so, like, this was so intense, and there's so many emotions. You're like, everyone's got their trauma, but like ultimately we need to remember literally what everything that Claudia went through and what they put her through.
Right. And the only thing we've seen of Claudia is through Louis' eyes. So getting to see this version of her is so terrifying, because 100% she's been this pissed the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
And Louis didn't want to admit it. And that's why Louis feels so fucking guilty. And that's why he went after fucking Bruce, because he's like, well, someone else traumatized her. It wasn't fucking me, and fuck that guy. And he has such a complex surrounding her.
Yes.
Because he knows he fucked up. And he wanted to call upon the work of a woman to absolve him of his feelings, and she was not gonna fucking let him have it.
Say it. Exactly that. Yeah.
Dude.
And wait, and might I add, a black woman.
Ooh.
The symbolism here goes crazy, guys.
I'm wondering if anything's happening with her breaking the salt circle.
Yes. So I was going to ask you, what do you think of that?
You know how we've been getting all these posters and everyone's theorizing about all the colors?
Yes.
Claudia, do you know about this? So Claudia
Yes.
finally got one, and she's listed as the spirit, and she's blue, which is a whole new color. So I don't know if she comes back or what's going on. I'm very curious. I don't know what it means.
Yeah. I don't know either. But if you don't watch anything from the show, watch the scene, because
watch
holy
that clip.
Fucking shit. There's just so much built up to this point too. There's just there's so many elements to this. There's patriarchy. There's race that's played into this too. There's just so many wonderful elements, and they executed. I gotta say, Delaney ate this shit the fuck up. When I know she got a lot of slack for season 2 and being the new Claudia, and she got all this shit about it, but she completely, like, she ate this in a way that I did not expect, and I'm so scared.
Same, and I couldn't have been prepared.
She scared me. I was scared.
It was fucking.
I was like,
scary.
what did I do? I thought I was gonna get yelled at next.
I was getting yelled at.
Bitch, stop.
So that happens, and then they just go for a little walk.
So they go for a stroller. Like, well, that was a bad idea, huh?
Yeah. Well, we fucked up. We knew we knew we should have canceled.
Right. And like the whole time it's like, okay, that all happened and they still don't get the point. It makes me upset, because like you see all this growth happen, and then is it really even happening? Like,
I think that they need to take a step away from that to process that, because I'd need like 5 business days, you know?
if someone yelled at me like that, I would.
From the dead that I thought I was going to feel better about.
Yeah, I was supposed to heal something in me. I was supposed to get closure. Girl, no, you don't. Get reamed out.
No. So we go on our walk. We end up on a bench, which is so season 1 coded, because they spent so much time sitting on a bench. We get this beautiful little pinky touch that goes back to them at the opera that is so sweet. I have a note here that just says Louis' hair, because Louis' fucking hair. Lestat also asks him, why do I actively, manically pursue failure? And they are having this finally raw conversation about their shortcomings as people, how they fuck up, why they fuck up, and the fact that they never fucking address that they fuck up and just try to act like they didn't. And it feels like they're having a conversation on how they can be better for each other. And Louis asks him, so the songs are about me? And Lestat says, most of them.
Yeah, we knew, baby. We knew. Right.
I lived 54,445 days before I met Louis Dupont du Lac.
Exactly. Yeah, so And then again, it's back to the two of them. They are so engrossed in each other. They're like all of these lessons learned, the way that I've hurt people. They're
Come
like,
to
but
me.
also, are the songs about me?
And we, yes, and they're talking about it. They're admitting they're not perfect. They have this like, it could be nice talking about moving out to the desert and listening to birds, dreaming, and planting flowers that bloom at night. And then they get their fucking heads cut off, and mine went with it. But like knowing about the books and knowing that we're getting I was like, at no point was I like, they're dead. I was like, and now what? There were people sobbing and like freaking out, and we know for multiple reasons that they aren't dead. Like, we see Louis at the beginning of the season walk into the auction with Armand. We see these characters. We know that they have a future. They're also not killing off the two main characters, so jot that down.
Guys, the whole thing's about them.
This was me watching The Last of Us and watching Joel die and being like, he's not dead. And Gabe's like, are you fucking kidding me? He's so dead. I'm like,
he's not dead.
Not dead.
Kill the main guy.
I chose not to accept it as my truth. And I knew he died too. Like I knew from the video game that he died. I was like, not dead.
Oh my God, you mean my mom texting me, hi mom. She was like, what was that? Wait, I forgot what she said. I meant to send it to you. She was gooped. She was like, what happens now? Because she has no context. She's like, listen. Right. She's like, you guys got me into it. She goes, what the hell? I'm not okay. LOL. She goes, Claudia's an awesome character. She goes, I can't tell if she's a vision or real. I was like, she's a spirit.
The spirit confirmed.
Yeah.
And then my only like final sign off thought is,
wait, we didn't say who cut off. It was Armand and Daniel.
Armand and Malloy. Exactly. Because they're fucking in the daylight.
In the daylight. So what's up with that? And they were questioning it. They're like, what's wrong with that?
Well, when Armand gets had, in season 2, episode 1, when Malloy's like, I saw you walk through the daylight. What the fuck was that? He's like, the older you get, the less the sun has an effect on you. So he must have like some tips and tricks in the 6th skincare routine or something for Malloy. I don't know. But after watching this, we have not gotten any sort of like live performance of Butterscotch Bitch. We are going to get the biggest ripper sign off of this song at the season finale. I feel it. Like my head is rolling around. You fucking let me know. And the little like next on, we can only assume that his head's in a bowling bag. And we see lots of timers, so I assume they're timing how long they have before they can reattach the heads, because a doctor says like a class 3 vampire lived 6 hours without their head in wherever. So and we had context from the book where when Armand cuts off Nikki's hands because he's going insane, he preserves them knowing he can sew them back on. So this is something that is very Armand. So I'm just dying to know. I'm just dying to fucking know, guys. The synopsis for episode 7 is out, and it says, the night of the band's final show, factions become clear when Lestat is the surprise guest of honor at a fancy dinner party where he must confront past and present demons. I hope it's 5 hours long, and it won't be.
Are you watching anything else?
I'm not.
Surprised I'm not.
Are you watching anything else that you'd like to discuss?
Guys, I'm watching House of Dragons. I would love to get into detail with it, but like there's so much happening right now that it's just
I watched my eyes glaze over while editing the last episode, and I was like, I was trying so hard, but I was like,
there's so much happening. And in classic Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, like it's very plot heavy and there's multiple subplots happening. There's just a lot fucking happening. I'm also nervous. I have to defend 2 blonde bitches every Sunday. I'm doing the Lord's work, okay?
Every day of the week,
3.
honey.
3, you too.
3.
Yeah, Daemon Targaryen, Lestat, de Leoncourt, and Johnna. last name redacted.
Blankety blankety blank.
No, yeah, it's things are happening. I'm very stressed. Rhaenyra doesn't deserve anything that's happening to her, and I wish she could just like grieve properly and be happy. And I wish Helena could have her chickens. And yeah, everything feels shitty because everything is shitty. Not a light show. So I started something actually, but I'm not gonna put it. Don't put this in. I started something. It's called Zoe's and Extraordinary Playlist. Is that what it's called? Yeah, it's very cheesy because I was looking for something light. It's so cheesy, like it would make you sick. But I'm like, I need something to watch. I'm like, now I watched a full episode. I'm like, I'm kind of in. She basically gets an MRI. The power goes out, and she starts hearing people's like inner feelings through a song, and people break out into like song and dance in the show. It's fucking nuts.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't know. I need like lighter television, and I only have New
So
Girl.
the only thing, I don't want to Google it because I'm scared. Like, the only thing I'm looking forward to right now is the fact that we are going to get a season 3 of Severance eventually.
The Severance breakdown's gonna be fucking insane, bitch. On this podcast here today, on this day.
On this day? Okay.
Yes.
What are you obsessed with? Besides the Vampire Lestat.
Really, it's taking up so much. I looked at Drew and I was like, what am I obsessed with? One of the things which Drew did highlight, the ham and cheese croissant that Trader Joe's has just unveiled.
Joe himself.
Mr. Joe. They're incredible. If you love a ham and Swiss croissant from Starbucks but don't like going to Starbucks like me because fuck Starbucks, that is your new bestie. You're welcome.
Incredible.
Yeah, get in there. Second thing I'm obsessed with. I am so obsessed with looking through the stories, these people that I do not know that are attending Bad Bitch Book Club summer camp in Forks, Maine. I wish I was there. Every time this pops up on my fucking feed, because like I have dabbled in Bad Bitch Book Club before. I've joined a Zoom, like I've sat in there. The House of Bad Bitch, which is the gay queer offshoot of Bad Bitch Book Club, does have some killer books that they read. But I have not, obviously not gotten all in. I don't think summer camp is like my biggest, like I'm not like, ooh, I can't wait to go to camp. But like I want to be, every time this fucking thing pops up.
I would need to go with someone. I couldn't show up alone.
I don't know.
If you want to go on in.
Listen, you let me know. We could report live. But like they look like they're having so much fun. You get to meet people from all over. It's not crazy from us because we live on the East Coast. Again, don't find us. But we live on the East Coast, so it's not too crazy from us.
Do not triangulate me.
It looks like so much fun. I love seeing the stories. There's a black girl in particular. She has been posting so much from it, and like answering people's questions too, like that are like, I've never heard of this. So I really like any content that's coming out of Bad Bitch Book Club, and let me in. All right, what are you obsessed with?
I'm obsessed with a few things. First, as a correction from last week, 2 weeks ago, as you know, I got my absolutely fucking Gorgina House of Rain copy. Again, it's not red, it's hot fucking pink, because it's my world and it's a simulation and nothing's real. And they had forgotten my artwork. And my artwork is here in my sweet little nameplate.
A Harley nameplate.
Harley, if you want to come on the pod, you have to tell us.
Please, we're begging, honestly.
The New Romantics in Winter Park, Florida was so kind. Like, they were like, we don't know what happened. We're so sorry. We'll send these out immediately. And then they sent me cutie pie little stickers. This says,
them.
Support your local romance bookstore. And this one has their little, like, book van that they have.
Yep. I love them.
And then this is just their logo. And I talked to their manager. Her name is Ashley, I think. And she was so sweet and so kind, so helpful. And I even emailed her back and I was like, I just received everything and I want to thank you again. Because I really thought when it wasn't in here, they were going to reach back out to me and be like, tough shit, honey. So I'm very happy with the outcome of this because
shop indie because they care. Just wear that for the rest of your life. Well, I'd love to share that, just to piggyback, I'm sorry. I did get my artwork as well. Listen.
The BB boys.
This is great artwork. I want every
We have
book.
to talk about this artist with Celine.
Yes, I cannot wait. I have to finish this book. I need to I need 4 hours where I could just sit there and finish this book. Not even.
I believe. I believe.
It's so good too. I have no time.
And then I have something else I'm obsessed with, which is yesterday I sent you Aaliyah's back on Snapchat. Put that on my obsessions because I talk video into my phone all day is a running commentary. And now she can receive them, which is great. No one else snap her because that's
I don't
for
want
me
it.
and me alone.
It's just for her.
So my mom yesterday, I was at her house and she's like, I have a stack of Rolling Stone magazines. Does anyone want one? And I was like, no. And then like 2 seconds later, I'm like, hold on. Do you have the Noah Kahn one? And she's like, who is that? And my sister goes, she does have the Noah Kahn one. I just looked at it and she asked me who Noah Kahn was. And I said, I want that one. And Mom goes, oh, do you really like him? And I go, no, I was going to buy it on eBay. I do really like Noah Kahn. I don't
Me too.
feel the draw to his music everyone else does, but I wish I did because I'm so personally invested in this sweet man. I love him so much.
Yeah.
So look how big this is.
That's crazy.
It is in like
Music's most dangerous to more. Yeah. Yeah, I will take that magazine.
I'm trying to my mom just goes, who is that? He's hot. I was like, well, this is Sam Reed playing the Vampire Lestat.
So this is a character.
This is a character. But also I saw a tweet the other day that said, I'm pretty sure that Sam Reed is being played by the Vampire Lestat playing himself and this whole thing's like just a cover. And I'm like, I would agree.
Because him being as docile, shy, and sweetie pie that he is whenever you see him, not
fucking
as Lestat, is weird. It's not Connor Story. It's not Hudson. It is
something, a third secret option. Yes, very different.
Weird.
And all of these things of him getting off of stage and people meeting him and he's in his little hat like,
hi guys.
Take a pic?
I'll take a picture.
Yes. So that's quite incredible. So that, and then one last thing I am obsessed with is I am having a hot girl summer because I got laid off. So I am going to spend as much time in the sun as I possibly can. And only
her job
get
is
tanner
summer.
and blonder from here. My job is now summer. I'm a full-time podcaster. I quit my job to focus on the Vampire Lestat. I'm just going to keep doing bits.
It's funny.
I am sad and also like I did really like my job. And I'm sad. I cried about it, obviously, and I'm pretty bummed. But onward and upward, baby.
Listen, can't keep a real one down. Can't keep a real one down. Bitch, you got the blood of Akasha in you.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm going to be okay. I'm in a really weird place with it because it happened 2 days ago. So
Fair.
I'm definitely like sad and I'm very anxious. Like I'm having like body reactions to it because I'm so stressed out because I do not have a job. So, but you know what? Can't keep a diva down.
No. And you know what, guys? This is real. We're real people, surprise. And
we're real people. I'm home crafting Armand glasses and fake cakes. If you want to know, I'm focusing on summer. So if you come to Book Fair at Bel Air, we will give you
a Twinket,
a delicious treat, a Twinket, a whittled Twinket out of a fake cake. I'm losing my mind.
From your favorite unemployed bitch.
Can't keep a diva down.
No.
So
it's opportunity in disguise.
It very much is. I will go find something else to do.
Anyways.
Send it over to future us.
Guys, you won't even know about this. Bye.
Hello, it's the future.
Hi. We're back again.
I had massive technical issues, and then so we decided to record today. So hello from the future if you listen to the first half of this episode. And then Aaliyah was having technical issues and found out her house has 2 forms of Wi-Fi and she's on the second one. And now we have the fastest recording we've ever had.
It is like we are talking to each other. It's so fucking bizarre. We're not used to this.
Yeah. So if this is the best episode ever, that's why. Because we're talking in real time.
Guys, we've made it to part 3 with the best Wi-Fi money can buy.
Yes. Yes.
Trigger warnings, my friends. We have self-harm, graphic violence, and a lot of body horror, especially in this third half. So just be mindful.
Not the third
know
half.
What you can handle. The third half. The third half, yes. I meant that. It is Friday afternoon. No, it is Friday evening right now.
7 p.m. now. We were going to record at 5. It is 7 p.m. No one's having more fun than us.
Divas are down. We're having fun, but the divas are down.
Yeah. All of this is true. So a little synopsis is to where we left off. We met our friend Poppy, who is a social media influencer / grave robber / mother. And she gets the call to pick up her favorite singer and obtain his corpse after he passes away, Eddie Michaels. And of course, he's alive, baby. He does hell stuff. He has magical powers of mind control. He smells like popcorn. He is clouded by pink dust. And he has just admitted that he is Poppy's dad.
I'm your dad. Nightmare.
I'm your dad, Poppy.
The real horror of this book.
Where we left off in chapter 10, he asks her if she has ever seen Star Wars, and she thinks, I am your father, and he says, I'm your dad, Poppy. So let's dive right in. We get into chapter 11, and Poppy is still on the floor trying to process this information. Because how would you? And she does what anyone would do and just breaks out laughing. Like, how much more? Like, she's wondered if she's hallucinating all night. And now this.
I'm your dad. Surprise. The, like, entity being your dad is insane.
Eddie asks her, because she's just cackling, if she doesn't believe him. And she says that she does. And the more she thinks about it, she thinks this whole situation would just be stranger if they weren't actually related. Because until tonight, she had never met anyone that she perceived to be as ruthless as she is. Because girl boss really thinks something of herself, which I honestly love. And we did find out in the beginning of the book that Poppy was adopted. And she asked Eddie if he just gave her up. And he tells her that he has no interest in raising kids. He has interest in being a kid. Relatable.
Real. Ooh, is this play about us?
Poppy is trying to get all this information. And she got him to admit that he was her dad by booing him, which is so funny. And now she screams, entertain me. Which is this whole thing. It's all about the art. It's all about the entertainment. And he tells her the story.
Here we go.
This is a quote. A long, long time ago, about 1,700 years now, which is so much time as Vampire Girls, a guest arrived here from a distant world. Not distant in terms of space, but something much more profound. This guest wasn't used to being alone. In fact, they couldn't survive on their own, so they went out looking for a friend. Someone they could enjoy the company of for a whole lifetime. The thing is, it was very difficult for this guest to make friends. Friends in this world just weren't built for this guest, not like they were back home. The guest searched and searched and searched, and every time they tried to make a new friend, that friend would get sick and go away. The guest was weak back then. They weren't meant to survive very long without a friend, but one day, by total chance, the guest made a friend who matched him just enough, and that friend got very sick, like the others, but didn't die. Eventually, the friend started getting stronger and stronger as his body adapted. He had good genes. You know who else had good genes? Poppy asks who. And Eddie says, the friend's daughter. That daughter's son had good genes too, and many years later, the daughter's son's son had even better genes. In fact, every generation was easier for the guest to make friends with. And Poppy says, so that's all I am? A host you've prepared? A host you've prepared? And Eddie says, 12. She goes, what? And Eddie says, you have 12 siblings. It used to be 13, but 2 of them died, including the backup here in Palm Springs. So as far as viable close options, you're pretty much all I've got. And Poppy says, you don't have 12 kids. I know everything about you. And he says, well, clearly not everything. And she goes, I guess not. And he goes, anyway, you're half right, sport. I have no kids that the public knows about. I stopped trying to raise my own future hosts like 500 years ago. It's nice having a fresh body right there when you need it, but it's also an absolute shit show. Big feelings. Plus, you usually end up married to your own son or daughter-in-law, which is awkward if you know them already.
Just look, this is incredible. He's a body snatcher, and the other piece of this too is this is like an entity taking up space in this person that Poppy thinks she knows everything about. Like there's this layer of separation that we'll get a little bit later, like the actual separation of the two beings. But like, honey, he's in a shell. You don't know that man. Also, parasocial as fuck to know your entity like that.
And you're right. We do get further separation later because she does not yet separate the fact that Eddie is her. Eddie is also just a host.
Yes.
Vessel. Like they are in that same, yes, they are both vessels. So she is not yet thinking of Eddie, and the guest is 2 separate things. She is pretty locked in.
Right. And just like, I think that helps. I mean, maybe that's a little bit of a spoiler, but it helps. I mean, he lays it out here, but again, we're learning kind of alongside Poppy and like getting those little details. But like this very clearly, just so you all know, this will help you kind of digest the rest of what's about to happen, because again, 2 different things happening here, 2 different entities. Here's my question though. Who would have been Eddie Michaels if he wasn't this entity instead? You know? Like, would he have been...
Like, just some random guy?
Would he have been some random guy because he was a kid when it happened? Would he have been still this like famous artist but without a parasite?
Right. That's really interesting. Like, how old was he when the guest entered him?
Right, because like think about Poppy. She's in her 30s. She's got to be.
I think she's 27.
27. Wow, you pulled that. Good for you. Yeah, so she's young, but she's not as young as Eddie was. Like, obviously this wasn't planned. Was like, the lineage situation, it's very interesting to me through and through.
Agreed.
And this is where like Chuck is so intentionally vague, which is great because I think that bodes well for all of his stories. There's obscure, there's uncertainty, there's all this stuff that kind of makes it what they are. But I always am like, what? Like, I think about Lucky Day too. Like, I'd love to have this world around this instead of these couple hundred pages that I have, because it's so interesting. Yeah. The concept of this is so interesting.
Because there's massive world building happening in 200 pages.
Right.
And yes, it could be more built out, but at the same time, it's like, yep, I'm accepting my fate, and this is what we know. After hearing this, Poppy thinks back to a time where she saw footage of Eddie performing, and he looks directly into the camera and sings, "One day you'll be up here, and I'll be watching you." And she knew in that moment that they were both cosmically tethered by art. So she has always felt this extreme draw to him.
Right.
For probably a plethora of reasons. And Poppy asks him if this is just a means for survival. He reminds her that survival is nothing without art or entertainment. He's always been a star, and with Poppy's help, he will keep shining, and so will she. So he thinks this is like a favor. I know.
Yeah. It's this piece of like this need for entertainment, because that's truly like the entity. Like picking the type of people it does. I mean, this lineage, like there was something about them that also like they realize the thing realizes there's greatness, you know, there's all the I'm like that being such a driver is so interesting. What is this like commentary on? Like, what is the entity representing here? I feel like there's like some deep fucking something there.
The other thing I'm thinking about right now is by this theory that this great entertainer is inhabiting bodies, who was he before Eddie? Obviously, Eddie's not a real person,
Right.
but there is someone out there that was singing or dancing or doing something that was also inhabited by this guest that was probably famous and an artist or an entertainer in some way.
Right. And like that far back. And that they say like not from space, but it's like something that you can't even conceptualize.
Chuck, if you want to come on the podcast, you have to tell us.
You have to tell us, thank you. We'll have you.
After telling her that she will keep on shining, Eddie goes on to say that sci-fi and horror always leaves out the meat of the story. And when it's talking about these villains, it never says what their hobbies are. Why do swamp creatures only eat people? There's so much more to life than struggle, and he was put here to entertain. New generations, new tech, same entertainment. That's pretty bold coming from an influencer hater. Oh, sorry, Eddie. Sorry. And after saying this, he just kind of like claps his hands. He's like, oh, and he goes back to Mary, which is the whole reason we're here, the date farm owner. Body horror. Poppy is in a living room and Eddie and Mary are in her bedroom. And she gets out of bed and takes her clothes off and Eddie hands her a knife. And she gets to work. And at this point, Poppy just looks away because she can't really handle it. But when she looks back, Mary has taken a large chunk of her skin off. And she's smiling, and much like the skateboarder, although she's smiling, tears are running down her face. And that, like, visceral horror of being in your body but out of your body is also spooky.
So scary. The loss of autonomy is, like, my biggest fear. This is why I cannot be pregnant.
Real. But also her peeling her skin off. I think it's either in Butcher and Blackbird or Leather and Lark where the cannibal is slicing his skin off with peeler. It's a vegetable peeler.
I was
That
gonna
is
say.
like, ugh.
Yeah.
Not this skin. I need it. She is peeling her skin off. She's handing it to Eddie, and he is eating it.
Yuck.
Cannibal.
Moving past that.
I mean, I guess he's not really a cannibal because he's not human.
He's gotta get his fill, okay?
Yeah, our boy Snack.
He needs snack.
And with all the information that she has, Poppy gathers that Eddie's gaining strength for something, but she can't figure out what it is. But she is 100% sure that she is in line to be Eddie's next host.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah. Accept your fate. Lock in. Mary continues to flay herself, and Eddie continues to eat. And Poppy is evaluating all her options as this happens and realizes that she might not be able to hurt Eddie, but it isn't his flesh that matters. It's hers. This
is the worst part of the book.
This went on for so long.
Way too long, and it's mentioned every time you turn a page after this point.
Yes.
Sorry. Prepare yourselves. There's
Lock
something...
in.
Wait. There's also something about the word flay. Something about flaying yourself.
Nasty.
Mm-hmm. Nasty.
Poppy manages to stretch over to the couch and grab the knife that she had stabbed Eddie with and pauses for 1 second, knowing what she will have to do next. And at this point, I'm like, what's she gonna do? And then it hit me like a fucking bullet. Poppy looks in the mirror as a way to say goodbye to herself, and she thinks about Marlowe again, and she wonders what Eddie will do to her when he takes over her body. And she says, quote, as self-obsessed as I am, and I'll admit it, I'm pretty fucking self-obsessed, there's a little girl I care about even more. So she is doing this in effort to protect Marlowe. Poppy takes the knife and cuts into her face over and over and over again, and she will not give Eddie a beautiful body to entertain in. And she knows that this face is going to scare Marlo, but this is her way of letting Marlo know that it's no longer her. She kind of says to herself, if I'm ugly and Eddie takes my body over, she is going to look at me and know that it's not me. And this is the red flag because I'll no longer be in there. While she's doing this, there's a thump in the other room and Mary's body finally collapses and Eddie starts coughing again. Poppy continues to disfigure herself, and you're going to have to read the book for the body horror. Girls, gays, and theys. Nothing I recite here could do this justice, and I don't want to relive it. Thank you. It's very graphic. It's very well written. It is so visceral.
Very nasty. Yeah.
Poppy looks over into the room where Eddie and Mary are, and he's in there bent over coughing, and out of his mouth is coming a large object with 2 arms, and with another cough, it frees itself from Eddie's body. This whole sequence is so fucked up.
Get me out of the room. This is the point in like a horror movie where I'm just like, this is
squirming.
Me. I can't. Yeah.
Tell me.
It's not the gore, it's the unknown. Because like, I knew there was something in it. We've been alluding to it, the fingers to the back of the head. Like she can see things moving through his wounds. But I don't want to be a part of it.
No, keep it to yourself. I have a big quote here because I re-listened to this and I'm like, can't give this a synopsis. Let's quote it. Yeah. What first seemed like a relatively small object now reveals itself to be so much more. Its shiny, armored body keeps coming and coming. First a head, then an abdomen, and then a tail, and its incredible weight slams against the wooden floor with a loud thud. This enormous insect-like creature clicks and clacks with 6 sharp legs, struggling to find its senses amid the toxic spill of gore and viscera that accompanied its delivery. It opens and closes the protrusions in its face, which I now see are sharp mandibles of a chattering mouth. Haphazardly lashing the air above this abomination are 4 long tentacles, each equal to the monster's body length and protruding from its back. It appears the 4 tendrils are how it pilots humanoid limbs, and they could easily explain Eddie's superhuman strength. Girl,
no.
What?
No, thank you.
None for me, thanks.
Yeah, get it away from me. I can't fucking do that.
No. Don't put me in a situation. You know?
Especially this one. Everyone's filleted. There are shells of bodies, and then there's something about the word delivery here, like the way it was delivered.
That
thank you.
The toxic spill of gore and viscera. Like that literally made me think of birth in the nastiest way.
Same. I'm like, this is just birth.
After the insect comes out, it is followed by an absolute mess of pink speckles that flow into the air and explodes and fills the room. And it's the same speckles from the club that Poppy saw under the black light.
But like, there's something about it being like sparkly, like a sparkly halo of pink shimmer. Like there's something about that is so, again, cinematic. Yes. I have a really hard time visualing books, but never Mr. Tingles.
Never with a Chuck. The monster sprints towards Poppy, holds her down, and she can tell how upset it is with the condition of her face, and says, which is so terrifying that it can still talk, "You've done it now, sport. I'll have to start younger." And Eddie runs off. She does refer to the insect as Eddie, but please visualize it as this nasty insect. Eddie runs off, and Poppy's relieved, but quickly realizes what he meant by his younger comment, that he's headed for Marlo.
Yeah. We're like stomach drop. This little critter's running into the night looking for your daughter.
You want to talk about shit that skitters? This thing, you know?
Yeah.
So we get into chapter 12, and after realizing this, Poppy rallies. She centers herself, which she is so good at doing. First step, get the handcuffs off. So she struggles against the leg of the table that she's cuffed to, that she's bound by, and she manages eventually to free herself and rushes into the room where Mary and Eddie's husks are. She goes through his pockets to find the car keys and also finds the paper that he'd been referencing all night. I loved this. I was like,
Yes.
she's still working. I'm surprised she could still see, honestly.
This
But
is
go off.
so. This is what I'm saying. She like quite literally by this point she's like there's so much pain. It's like it's now
She is stabbed through her mouth. Like
she's completely like mutilated herself. So her face. So she's like dealing with all of that, but like literally has every time it's happened in this book, it's kind of been like the girl is trying to survive. The girl is trying to survive, and there's probably so much adrenaline pumping through her body to be able to do, like, this is what feels supernatural to me, that she is able to do what she does in the next couple of chapters. I'm like, how? I would literally you maimed yourself, like, insane.
she looks at the paper, going through the husk's pocket. Like, he's just like a pile of like flesh.
Yuck. It
Ew.
has been dead
Ew.
and is like fucked up too. Like he's so I hate this. This is so cinematic, but also like I can't imagine what this would look like on a screen like this.
Oh, I know. I'm not coming to the date farm. Thank you. I'm
Thank you
only
so
going to the cottage. She goes to read the paper, and it features 10 names and addresses, and the first 4 have a red star next to them. On the paper, various ailments are listed, one in each information block. So she has like a full-on Excel sheet, which is, organized. And she sees a few Merkel cell carcinomas in the all too familiar designation of melanoma covering the rest. All of them feature a terrible additional detail: metastasize. Most people know what these words mean, but in a sun-soaked town like Palm Springs, they're even more prevalent. All these people have late-stage skin cancer. Eddie's hunt for these specific people in his disgusting meal after finding them felt so needlessly macabre until this very moment, and suddenly I find myself awash with understanding. It will likely never make complete sense to me, but the building blocks are enough to reveal something primitive and elemental, a necessity in his transformation. Cancer cells are notorious for their powers of replication, dividing again and again as they create tumorous masses and destroy our healthy organs. If that regeneration could be harnessed in a different way, through some alien biology, then maybe these cells could serve a very specific purpose. Maybe they could support a supercharged mutation between caterpillar and butterfly. Poppy's too fucking smart.
She's really smart because the way that she's connecting these dots, like, I mean, yes, this is like handed to her on a silver platter, but understanding why this might happen, like, she's so interested in the why, and it's gotten her this far. We're learning at the same time she is, but we're also getting this information. Like, how would you have ever thought of this in your moment of peril?
I would have only, in the middle of my own fracturing, I would only be thinking of how to survive. I would not be trying to get to the bottom of it. I would not, like, she is thinking on such a level, and we are very much set up throughout this book to know that she is playing 3D chess at all times. She is thinking at a level that we have not, and like trying to figure it out, trying to figure people out, trying to do all this stuff. So it doesn't seem out of pocket that she's doing this, but it is just, my brain could never, especially not in peril like this.
No, cut the fuck up too.
Yeah. So she tries to think to herself what Eddie could be storing all this energy for, and she can't take the time right now to think about it. So she exits the house, walks by the guard who has killed himself as Eddie requested, and she notices that the pink specks in the air are absolutely everywhere. And she wonders how far they can possibly travel and what the effect may be. And this is another one of those visuals, like a northern lights of pink specks over this desert town of Palm Springs. It is such a visual moment. There's something like classic horror about this happening, like it's taking over. It's this massive thing, and this hysteria is probably about to happen because this thing has so much power.
And there's something about like consumption. A lot of this book is about consumption in some way. You have like you could have like influencer commentary thrown on that. You can have the entertainment piece and like who Eddie is and the way this entity needs to consume. Like there's so many like consumption seems to be the theme, and that is one of those like you can see it pan out and see it across the desert, like you said, like an aurora. It's incredible. Painting the picture I want to see, but I also don't want to be a part of because that shit was scary.
Correct. I would watch the movie though. You let me know.
Yep.
As she goes to open the door, she catches her reflection in the glass and she's terrified because she thinks she sees a monster. And then she realizes that it's her and decides that she doesn't have time to dwell on this because she has to go save Marlo. And she says, "The way I move feels larger now, as though my aura has expanded into that of a hulking beast. Maybe a shark isn't my apex predator aesthetic after all. Maybe I'm a bear, a furious, monstrous mother ready to tear out someone's throat with my claws. I slam through the gift shop door, letting loose a furious, unbridled roar that fills the night."
Crash out.
Crash out, queen.
Mama bear, crash
Whoa.
out.
We get more of her evolution from how she visualizes herself because she really did feel like she was a shark. Our girl's a bear.
I'm choosing the bear.
So I'm choosing the bear. Wherever Poppy's doing, I'm in because she's going to get the fucking thing done, okay? We get a little time jump here and we come back to Poppy screeching into her driveway and running through the front door, and she's calling out. This is so desperate. This whole section of the book is so stressful. I was like, and now what?
And what happens next? But again, this moves so quickly too, which is a delight and a treat for audio listeners.
Yeah. So she calls out for Marlo and Noah. It's almost 4 a.m. and she goes into her office to find the extra nose plugs that Marlo had for the pool, which is genius. And she calls out again for Noah and Marlo to come to her. "Come to me, Louie." And Noah runs out of wherever he is with a bat in hand and tells her to stop. And he doesn't recognize her at all.
Nope.
Which has to be so scary.
Very.
And he asks who she is, and this has to be scary for everyone. Like, this has to hurt Poppy's soul as much as it scares Noah. This is
and
such
she's
an occurrence.
she's like this. She has been like this all night, and they are meeting her in a crazy state, physically, but also like mentally. Like, listen, you got to put
her
these
body's
on.
just like vibrating. Yeah, she's talking crazy. Yeah, and Noah asks who she is, and Poppy says, "Well, it's me." And after really examining her, he realizes that it is her, and then he's immediately concerned, as he should be. Noah asks who did this to her, and she confesses that she did it to herself, but Eddie Michaels started it. Like, Noah has to be gooped out of his mind trying to figure out what the hell she is talking about. Like, Eddie Michaels is dead. What are you talking about? And Marlo then calls Mom, and Poppy is afraid to let her see her, but Marlo notices how her voice is completely different because she's just been screaming all night. Her mouth is injured and her nose is plugged, so she doesn't sound like her. And she hands the nose plugs out, and Marlo gets a glimpse of her, and she's terrified of her, but she complies. And this has to be so... Marlo is 5. Yeah. She's looking at her fully disfigured mother being told to put a nose plug on.
Who's absolutely freaking out. She is like, and Noah's there like, "Hi, friend." You good?
No. And Noah takes the nose plug and says that they should call the police. And Poppy dismisses it. She had her opportunity to call the police earlier. She knows they're not going to do anything. And she tries to explain what's happening. Eddie's a zombie. Well, a bug with pheromones. And Noah is in disbelief, but eventually he complies. Just then, Poppy notices a speck of pink dust floating through the air of her house, and she goes to investigate. Marlo and Noah don't follow because they're mesmerized by the pink dust, which would also get my ass, because I'm just a girl.
Ooh, pretty.
Yeah. And looking outside, Marlo asks, Mom, what's that? This is horror movie shit.
Horror show
Like,
time.
who's out there? Yeah. Poppy says in her internal monologue, there, some 10 feet up, tucked away in the shadows, is Eddie, the massive insect positioned sideways against the wall, but unbothered by gravity's pull. He perches with his 6 pointy legs resting just as casual as they would on land. Eddie's 4 muscular tentacles writhe slowly around him, constantly rippling with movement as they snake through the air and inspect their surroundings. He's pumping out an extra helping of pink dust, sparkling fog, billowing from the cracks of his carapace and drifting through the night.
Like, crazy visual there.
Upon seeing this, they all move away from the window and push further into the kitchen because they need to get the fuck away from Eddie, obviously. Mm-hmm. And luckily, though, seeing Eddie really causes Noah to believe, because the story is absolutely unhinged, but there he is, emitting pink dust. Poppy asks them if they can smell anything, and they both say no. So she's looking out. She is, again, operating on a level your girl never could.
Never, yeah.
Noah then asks, as they're moving through the kitchen, what the bug could be waiting for as it scurries away. Like, there's something, it's like when you see a spider and then you lose sight of it, and now it's even creepier because you don't know where the fuck it is.
You know where it went.
That's this. That's this. And then there's 3 knocks at the door, and it's Allison from next door, and she's asking for Marlo to come out. And she says that Poppy sent her to check on her. Next, Bowie, her son, asks if she can come over and play. This is so creepy.
It is.
This is terrifying. It's like uncanny because you know that it's 4 a.m. They are not coming over here at 4 a.m. So, like, you know something's up. And they move away from the door, and Poppy grabs a knife, and Allison starts pounding on the door and screaming for Marlo to come outside. They just keep moving into the living room. And she's, like, desperate, too. Like, knocking on the door. And as they move through the living room, a figure steps out from around the corner, large and hulking in the darkness. Poppy lets out a startled yelp and really struggles to shift gears and try to figure out what the fuck's happening, because they had no idea that anyone else was even in the house. And the shape is not Allison or Eddie. And despite the dim lighting, she can still make out that he has an enormous hatchet casually hanging by its side. And this figure says, "Hey, Marlo, I'm taking you to school this morning." No, sir.
No, you're not.
No. My note just reads, "I'll fucking puke."
Yeah.
Jot that down. After this happens all around the house, they start hearing glass breaking and people calling out, asking for Marlo, which has to be so terrifying for Marlo, too.
Oh, terrifying for Marlo, but
Much.
if I were Poppy, this is too much. Like, that is your child. That is, like, the one thing you're trying to protect. She knows now that, like, she fucking made the wrong move unintentionally, and now she has to do the thing she intended to the whole time and protect Marlo, like, physically, which is just... I'm so scared.
Yeah,
I know what happens,
and
but I'm scared still.
you know you're only 3 people, and you hear people all around the house.
Breaking glass in your house all over the place. Yeah.
Terrifying. The mob starts closing in on them. Noah lifts his bat, Poppy her knife, and Eddie commands that everyone stops. And someone switches all the lights on. And Poppy looks around to see all her neighbors standing around her holding weapons, which has to be even worse. And then Eddie, I told you he skitters. Eddie skitters toward them, and Marlo is terrified, asking Poppy what the fuck this thing is. And Eddie replies, "Grandpa,
It's me, Grandpa."
Kooky. And Poppy replies by telling him that she will mango Marlo too, if she has to. And he replies, "You would never. You're not ruthless enough, sport. You're a disappointment." And Poppy says, "Eddie's final words cut much deeper than expected, and for the briefest moment, I find myself thrown for a loop. Instead of thinking of physically defending myself, I'm overwhelmed with the need to push back, to argue my case, to show him I'm worthy."
Yeah.
They are certainly tethered.
That's some fucking daddy issue shit if I've ever heard it.
Yo.
I've been there too, Poppy. Trying to argue with the entity that is your father. Yeah, girl.
The fucking bug that's my dad.
My God.
And then Eddie says that he's interested in Noah. And with a whip of a tentacle, this is also one of those like super visual moments. With a whip of a tentacle, he grabs Noah by the leg and pulls him towards him. And he whips another tentacle toward Poppy and knocks the knife out of her hand. And he pushes a tentacle into Noah and starts feeding on him, which is disgusting. Because we have not seen Eddie eat off people. We have only seen people getting flayed. But I guess human Eddie has to eat the skin, whereas bug Eddie can just get it straight from the source.
Guys.
Nasty.
No, thank you.
As Eddie is eating, suddenly he stops and he screams, and black and red start pouring out of his mouth. And Noah takes this moment, again, a fighter, to pop up and grab the bat. My live note, not a damn survival skill in my body. I would have laid there and died.
Literally just take me.
And he hits
freeze.
Eddie with the bat, but Eddie doesn't react. And as he hits Eddie, the bat just bounces back toward him.
And they're like, the description is like, it's like he's hitting a cement wall with a metal bat. Like,
And it's just like reverberating. Yeah. Because this thing is crunchy bug.
crunchy bug. It's like a little beetle in my mind. Like those nasty ones.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beetles here.
Nasty. So Eddie tries to talk, but he is just puking up liquid, and he can't make a command, which is great. So Poppy, Marlo, and Noah all take off. They get in the car and start driving, but the man with the axe takes off after them, followed by the rest of the neighbors. And I gotta tell you, in this scene, I was like, Poppy can fucking drive.
Oh,
she takes off
whipping it.
in reverse, whips the vehicle around, makes it happen.
Oh my God, she's
And-
whipping the hoe.
Oh, yeah. And right as they get turned around, they do it just in time to see a massive pink fog streaming out of her home.
Ah. Run.
Run, girl. So we get into chapter 13, and Noah is just speechless because even though he was like, yeah, I believe you, like, he didn't till he did. And he finally says, we have to call the police, but Poppy reminds him that Eddie will take control over them too. Because, girl, I've seen it happen tonight, you know?
Right.
And Poppy asks why Eddie did that when he bit Noah, and Marlo chimes in. He didn't like the taste, and that's what you need to hear from a 5-year-old. You need to be thinking on that level, you know? Because that's the truth. Poppy says, there's a huge problem here. 2 very important mind files directly contradicting each other. I've been so careful arranging these mental folders, laying them out on the floor of my consciousness and adding them to each one. This attention to detail is the only reason I'm still alive. The only reason any of us are still alive. But now this odd inconsistency has emerged. Eddie's biology is unlike anything this world has ever known, and he subsists on a particular type of cancerous growth during this part of his life cycle. He spent all night devouring sheets and sheets, gross, of skin from people with metastatic cancer, building up his strength for a horrible rebirth. Suddenly, however, it appears to be the one thing that could take him down.
Everyone's thinking real hard. I don't know. Still amazed by this. I know this is fiction, but like you're always placing yourself inserting all the time when you read. Like I know something that I do no matter what. And again, not the survival skills and not the dot connecting that I would be doing at this point. Like
no, he would have gotten to all 4 of his bodies, and I would be the new host already, like hours ago, actually.
Like he planned.
Yeah, I would have let him do it. So, as they drive, Noah suggests hiding out, but Poppy knows that Eddie will find them. She's done running, and the more she runs, the more people are going to get wrapped up in this. And Noah accepts this as the truth, and Poppy tells him that he should go because Eddie isn't after him, and he, because he is a pillar of this family, refuses to abandon them. He's
like
such
a down-ass
fucking real
bitch.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. You have your friends that will do errands with you. You have your friends that will run from bugs with you. Absolutely.
Demonic dad bugs.
Yes. Yes. Will you help me run from my father? Yes or no? Poppy hands him Eddie's list and is still thinking about why eating from Noah made him act like that. And Noah says, I mean, if he needs cancer to survive, then chemotherapy can't be great for him. Nope. Mm-mm. And Poppy says, I mean, if he needs cancer to survive, then chemotherapy can't be great for him. Your body's just pumped full of radiation, right? And Noah says, afraid so. But these people are also stage 4. They're probably not getting the same treatments as I am. And Poppy yells, your cream! Crazy. And Noah says, my what? And she says, from the medical trial, nobody else would have access to that stuff. And Poppy asks Noah if he has more, and he says, yep, in my locker at work. And
guys,
off
boom.
They go.
Run.
Yes, get the cream. So they head to the Palm Springs tram, and Noah scrolls the news, and is shocked there is so little information out there on what's going on. And he asks what they'll do once they get the cream, and Poppy isn't sure. And they make it to the tram station, and Poppy grabs Marlowe's hand, but doesn't look at her, and just looks straight ahead so Marlowe can't see her face. And this keeps coming back of Poppy trying to hide herself from Marlowe, and it's kind of gut-wrenching, guys.
Every time.
They approach the station, and Noah's coworker Kenny lets them in. And Kenny is horrified when he sees her. And he tells her that he has a first aid kit, but Poppy gives him a nose clip and tells him to put it on. He's confused, and Poppy tries to work her hot girl magic right here and realizes that she has now lost the privilege.
Like, it dawns on her at this point. She's like, wait, the funniest thing, I don't have hot girl privilege anymore. I can't wield this. And she, like, is released from it. There's some sort of, like, oh, I don't have this power anymore. So she's like, I have to harness it in a different way, and it's just yelling.
Yeah, it's yelling and hopefully getting a gun, you know? Like the rest of us.
Like the rest of us uglies.
Yes. Noah, Poppy, and Marlowe move on to the locker room, and that's where the cream is. And Poppy's disappointed because it doesn't look like there's a lot left. And this was kind of devastating for me, but if just like the application on his skin was enough, I feel like this is a little bit goes a long way situation.
Yep, I agree.
You know?
I'm like, take what you can get, put it on everything.
Yeah. They just decide to come up with a plan, and like whatever they do with it, it's going to have to work because they obviously can't get more. As they're talking about this, there's a knock at the locker room door, and Kenny says, Poppy, I have that first aid kit. And Noah goes to open the door right as Poppy remembers she never gave Kenny her name. This is just like when Eddie said her name. This terrifying moment.
Awful.
And Kenny, once the door is open, blasts Noah with a shotgun and sends him flying across the room. R.I.P. King. This was
R.I.P.
by far the saddest death.
I was like, oh, okay, so they just did that.
Yeah.
Chuck has no bounds.
And I have in my note here, at the beginning of the book, when they were out to dinner, Noah said, I want to go out quick and no frills. And unfortunately,
the foreshadowing
got his wish.
Yeah. The foreshadowing is foreshadowing here in a crazy way.
We enter chapter 14. We're going to open it up with a quote. Girls, gays, and theys. Bodies are fragile. Noah had said that to me once, and now his words were ringing through my mind just as loudly as the gunshot in my ears. For the briefest moment, I find myself genuinely stunned, frozen in place, not from the bang or the flash or the violence, but the realization that my friend is dead. Kenny stands in the doorway with tears rolling down his cheeks, his weapon raised, and everything feels as though it's moving in slow motion as our eyes meet and Kenny swivels towards me and Marlowe screams. Further growth out of Poppy.
Yeah.
Noah's not worm food. That's her friend. She's finally looking at a dead body and seeing it as a person.
We've made it so far in such little time.
I want to get off this bus, but we made it so far.
Right.
And Poppy tells Marlo to get down, and Kenny hits her across the face with the gun. So fucking hard. This hit, I was like, just fucking kill me. As someone who has been hit across the face and broken their nose, just kill me. Thanks.
You're also mutilated, too. You got no skin on your face right now.
Oh, my God. That. So somehow, Poppy manages to get the gun away from him, but Kenny gets on top of Poppy and starts to strangle her. But these good genes run deep. Marlo hits him over the head with a bat and saves Poppy. My ruthless
5-year-old
diva.
swinging.
5-year-old. Swinging.
And Kenny's so nice. Like, you open up with this and he's like, hey, guy. Like, so nice. It's
How can I help you? What's up?
And I wonder if that's like a trick, too, with because she talks about humanizing Eddie's victims in the beginning and like how she's like, that the skateboarding, starting with the skateboarding guy, he didn't deserve that. And it's like all of these building blocks to get where she is. And like, unfortunately, her friend dying is like the ultimate catalyst of it. But like, yikes. All of these people suffering.
Yeah. And that was why Poppy decided to not run, because she didn't want anyone else involved in this. Now Noah's dead. Now Kenny's bonked over the head. And after Marlo does this, she looks down at his body and starts to cry. Like, she instantly feels guilty. And Poppy tells her,
girl.
We're the ruthless ones. Do you understand? We win. You win. A brain space I'll never be in.
Yeah. This is something I don't. I mean, there is a level of like girl bossing that I think we all harness in some way. But like, I don't strive to be this bitch, you know? The women like this stress me out, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm rooting you on. I'm rooting on because you're like...
Yes, this is so good for you, Diva.
The changers, the shakers, the makers, you know. I have too many feelings. And I'm too neurotypical.
Oh, God. The empathizers, the...
Yeah.
What are we? The softies, the feelers, the
snowflakes.
criers.
The criers.
Yes. The criers. So Marlo nods in agreement to Poppy's statement and hands her a set of keys. Poppy looks back at Noah across the room and thinks to herself that he's a corpse, and then realizes that it's not a corpse leaned up against the wall. It is in fact Noah. That is her friend. And she kind of has a moment thinking about that, and we talk throughout this entire thing about her growth from how she views dead bodies, and finally she sees one that's her friend and someone that she loved and someone that cared for her child, and realizes that this is not worm food. This is someone she loved, and that's still massive growth.
But like, here's the other thing. Like, it feels, again, larger commentary, but like, until it happens to you kind of thing. And she was so far removed from it because she removed elements from it. But like, until it happens to you this whole night, if it wasn't the strangers, it would have been someone else kind of thing. And of course, like, Noah was, I mean, a great choice in the form of this book. But yeah, that really is like the nail in the coffin for her understanding and humanizing people.
Yeah, because that's
she's like,
family.
I needed to see my bug dad to realize people are okay. It's okay to humanize people.
Right. But she also, based on what we do know and what we find out, she has no one that's close to her.
Right.
She didn't connect with her parents. She didn't connect with anyone. So I could understand why she kind of, I mean, I've never felt that way in my life, but I could see how she got there, you know?
Yeah.
So Poppy also has a moment to appreciate how collected Marlo is, which if your 5-year-old is witnessing this happen and they are calm, you might be parenting in an odd way.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, maybe that's a bad thing.
Yeah. Yep. And then Marlo asks Poppy if Noah's going to be okay. And Poppy elects for honesty here and says he is not going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because that just shows that Marlo has no concept of what's going on. If she looks at a man who is dead by shotgun and's like, is he going to be good? Terrifying. And they start to move on. They exit the locker room and they see a cloud of pink dust. Which, like, what an omen, you know?
Yeah,
something that I
every
wish I
time.
had around me at all times, but what an omen. And they knew that the station was empty before, they hear footsteps all around them. And as they head to
Bad.
the engine room, someone yells, you can just hear it, there! Like, they have been spotted. And they get, right. And they get into the engine room and lock the door. This is also so zombie. But there's a glass pane on the door, and they quickly smash it, and there's all these hands coming through it as they're fumbling for the lock.
No.
So zombie. So sick. Poppy spots an exit sign, and they head that way, but when she looks out it, they are 40 feet in the air. So they are feeling a little twapped.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking a little twapped. Yeah. And they do not have time to make a plan to scale a 40-foot building. And they walk out onto the loading dock for the tram, but they're quickly spotted again. And Poppy's remembering that she has the keys and decides she can get the gondolas moving at this point. And she puts the key in, and it works. And the gondola pulls away, and all the people are streaming onto the loading dock, throwing weapons at the gondola as they take off. And it is successful. And I'm just thinking about being at Disney.
I was gonna say, do you feel like you're on not the people?
I'm on the Skylighter.
The Skylighter, literally
I'm pulling away from the Riviera, and it's a little doo doo doo.
Oh my god! But like, think of the takeoff too, like the slow, because like they're all kind of like that, the slow loading, but the fucking takeoff at the Skyliner at Disney is insane. You're like, you shoot out and then you shoot back in, and I'm just imagining like this happening when their people talk. Crazy visual.
And also, there's this moment of peace once they're in the car where all these loud noises, all this stuff knocking up against it, and all of a sudden, they're on the gondola, they're together and alone for the first time that they know of, which has to be like terrifying, but also grounding.
Yeah, but like in the sky that way, which is already so precarious, and they're literally trying to get you out by any means necessary. Like, scary.
Yeah, she's up there looking around the city, and she worries the people on the loading dock are going to be able to stop the tram. And she knows that Eddie's still out there somewhere. Even though she's literally escaping through the sky, she has no way of stopping any of this. While she's on this gondola, she thinks to herself, all this death and destruction has led me to the only place that matters, wherever my daughter is.
A mom.
A mom. And then, of course, because we're still in fucking hell, music turns on the tram, and it's A Star Like Me by Eddie Michaels. And this sends Poppy into a panic. But Marlo reminds her that they always play music on the tram. Poppy says Palm Springs and the surrounding desert are now fully visible, stretching out across a remarkably flat landscape like a blanket of beautiful twinkling lights. From up here, you can really see the way people cluster together, the way we find each other amid the nothingness. And there is something so specific about a desert town. Like when you fly over Las Vegas and see that it is nothingness and then high rises. I've never been to Palm Springs, but I'm sure it's like that same exact situation.
It's very weird, and like you'll never forget that. Like I remember the first time we went to Vegas, and that it's so visually different too from where we live over here in the East Coast. Like crazy difference.
She continues, you might say this desire for community is because as living creatures on our vast, strange planet, we all need love. You might say it's because we right. You might say it's because we all need attention. I close my eyes, regret flooding through me as I realize this could have all been avoided if I'd just taken my attention and pointed it somewhere that mattered. If I'd stopped focusing on what I thought Marlo needed and started focusing on Marlo herself. Maybe Noah would still be alive. Maybe Marlo wouldn't be in danger. Maybe in this fictional other life, we could have moved somewhere far away and some other sibling would have been in tonight's hot seat. I've stolen bodies that I had no right to. I did this by wrapping myself in a flag of love. I said I'd do anything for my family, but I realize now that this is just an excuse. I thought I was helping Marlo for Marlo, but I was helping Marlo for me. And I'd probably never live it down. But after tonight, at least I understand what I've done. Thanks to Eddie. I finally know what it's like to be on the other side of someone stealing bodies they have no right to.
Here we are.
Growth in a diva?
Right. And here's the thing. There's so many other things that Chuck could have picked for her to... I don't know. She's got a lot of interesting layers to her, we'll say. But like the whole body snatching as a career thing being like the lesson she takes away. Also like, and her relationship with Marlo, because we did get a little bit of that in the beginning, and her needing her attention more, things like that. It's just like this being the lesson is really interesting. I like it. I think like what a not like you can't apply that. None of us can really apply this unless you are a body snatcher, which is your prerogative. But I think this was an interesting choice, I'd say, and not a negative
right.
way, just,
but I do think it is like putting your energy where it belongs and being able to separate that from giving energy in a self-serving way. I think that's a super important message that is more applicable. Her realizing that bodies aren't just worm food is certainly like the big one.
Right.
Her finally admitting that she was doing this for her, not for Marlo, is so huge.
Yeah. And I know it's called Fabulous Bodies. I'm aware. I'm just saying.
She's just saying. So after this beautiful realization, the gondola lurches. Marlo goes flying. A lurching gondola is something that's so vivid in my head.
Yeah. Again, been on it.
And Eddie's tentacle is in the gondola in a half-open window and around Marlo. This is terrifying.
Nope.
Poppy aims well, tries her hardest, and shoots Eddie's tentacle with a shotgun. He does drop Marlo, but he is unfazed and uninjured, which is the worst thing that could be happening. And Eddie manages to stay on top of the gondola and breaks two of the windows. Like the glass smashing around, the tentacles coming in, like this is so vivid.
I hate it.
Poppy keeps trying to kind of picture where he's going to be so she can shoot him with the shotgun again. And she doesn't think the gun will hurt him, but hopes that the momentum will knock him off the top of the gondola and send him plummeting down to the forest below. I can't even imagine how high up they are.
Very high.
It is so terrifying to use my brain like that. And although Poppy doesn't know where he will appear, she knows when he will appear because his song is playing and she knows it will be right at the apex of A Star Like Me. I wish someone made this song so I could hear it.
I know. This is one of those like You Won't Forget Me. I wish we had
right
it
now.
Yeah, we
but
are.
Like between You Won't Forget Me and the music that they're making for Lestat, like Chuck,
give it to me.
I need you to release a single. She's listening to the song, and once again, she's finding out it does not hit like it used to. And she says, the tones are a lot more brittle than I remember, and Eddie's moaning attempts to vamp up the energy are outrageously melodramatic. Never meet your heroes, I guess.
This is so real. I love that.
A diva. And the song goes, but baby, I'm a... And the second the recorded voice says the word star, his massive insect frame comes barreling over the roof's edge to Poppy's right. So she knew. She knows him. And she pulls the trigger, but Eddie manages to keep holding on. And Eddie calls to her from the roof. And he says it looks like someone hit her pretty hard. And she puts her hand to her face, feeling fresh blood coming out of her nose. And realizes that Kenny hit her hard enough to knock the wax out of her nose. Ah! And Eddie says, stop everything, Poppy. And she freezes in place.
Oh, this was the worst feeling. This was the worst feeling in the book.
Worst.
Between
like,
this and her filleting herself.
Too.
Yeah. It's just like between that feel, it's like that stomach drop. The realization that she has to basically maim herself, that scene and her doing that again, that description so much. And then this, like the the roller coaster that I'm on, reading a Chuck Tingle book is always going to be the best ride. This is why we love him. Like, yes, the stories are kooky. Yes, he's a character. Like, he's all of these things, but like, down to my bones, this is an incredible story. Like, this is really well written. It makes me feel the things, and that's what I like in a book. And I'll say again.
And I think that we've done a really good job talking, too, about how descriptive his writing is. Because 100%, I cannot picture every book I read. I can picture every Chuck Tingle book I read. Hands down. I have no issue picturing the exact setting, where I am, it is so well described. And I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. So we enter chapter 15, and Poppy is frozen. She can see the pink flecks all through the air, and Eddie opens the door and slinks into the gondola.
No.
And Marlo, this is what's so upsetting, is Marlo is pleading with Poppy to do something because she does not understand what's happening, and Poppy can't move. Eddie knocks the gun out of her hand as Marlo screams for help, and Eddie's tentacles start to perform a dance. And this made me think of gloving in the most hilarious way, but also like bird dancing. This was a whole moment. Poppy is just filing through her brain trying to get her body to move because she's beat it before and she thinks she can do it again. She's so strong-willed. And finally, she is able to take a step forward. I was like, yes! This is so one of those happy.
It's like this, it's like willpower, it's whatever. Like, there's a level of two, I think, like, her connection to him, there's got to be something there, because remember when she was on the steering wheel and she was like willing herself to do something, she was slow, but she was able to do it. Like, whatever she harnessed there, she's using all of the momentum here, all of her feelings about Marlo. There are so many things that, in fact, that play into this point, and it's very, it's one of those yes moments.
Because like, she's so strong-willed and she's actually able to harness it. So in her inner monologue, she says, visions of Marlo cascade through my mind. I see her at swimming lessons, big goofy goggles strapped to her head and pulling her wet hair tight. I see her crying with a skinned knee after falling off her little scooter. And I see her grinning at the ice cream shop later that night. I see the tiniest version of Marlo on the day she was born, her eyes barely open, skin bright red, her miniature hands clutching to my chest for safety and warmth. Why did I sell dead bodies? Because I believed that was all there was. I had never had a moral qualm with my business because the dead are simply dead, no longer a person to violate the rights of, just an arrangement of flesh and bones and blood that will melt away. Literal worm food. Hell, even if I did believe in a soul, it wouldn't be hanging around inside of a corpse by the time I showed up. But at this very moment, it's hard to deny the uncanny power of these feelings coursing through me, not as a product of my own flesh, but as something else, something transcendent. It's not God, at least I don't think it is, and it's certainly not magic. It's love.
The power of love, baby.
Do it for Marlo.
Do it for Marlo.
Poppy, after harnessing the power of love in the most literal way I've ever witnessed, manages to reach into her pocket and grab Noah's cream, and slams the open jar of cream into his mouth, and they fall out of the gondola. Them falling.
Yeah.
Stressed.
Down into an abyss, a black abyss. Again,
trees.
I'm like,
time jump here. They're on the ground. And Poppy looks around and wonders if she's dead. And as she gains awareness, she realizes she can hear Eddie retching next to her. And there's black foam pouring out of his mouth. Good. And outside of the foam coming out of his mouth, otherwise he's completely still. His tentacles rest on her arms, and his innards bloom across the snow around her. Like them falling from a desert setting into the snow.
We're set in so many visually dense places that it is again, a testament to this writing, but like, I'm at the Trixie Motel, bitch. I'm in the middle of the desert. I see an aurora cloud of pink dust. I'm hanging like the bug in the snow. Like, there's so much happening in this book. I literally do not know how, I literally don't. I think about authors writing these books and doing it in such a condensed but also thorough way is just, I don't get it.
Do I need to
Words
make a
have so
personal
much
call
power.
to Curry Barker?
Like, I really am
Who
so
will
impressed.
do this?
Yeah.
So Eddie finally manages to speak and says, "Bravo, sport." Oh. Let me fully itch my nose. Eddie finally manages to say, "Bravo, sport." And Poppy doesn't want to care after everything that he's done. But she's absolutely sickened by the thought that these words would mean anything to her. But they do. Mm-hmm. And she thinks to herself, this monster is part of me. Whether I like it or not, I'm a part of him.
Hate that. Sorry.
Our diva just wants some approval, you know?
Yeah.
And she says something falls into place, a mind file that's been lost in the shuffle, finally revealing itself after decades tucked behind some imaginary desk. I always wondered why my parents adopted me and then acted like I was a huge burden on their life. As their only child, I figured there was something wrong with me, that if I had made more friends, gathered more skills, stayed perfect and strong, and most of all beautiful, my folks might actually start to want me around. They adopted me after all. The only thing that could explain their actions was buyer's remorse. My parents weren't disappointed in me. They never wanted me in the first place. This realization.
Awful. Your whole life.
Awful.
Your whole
Awful.
life.
And she continues on, along with the question of why they adopted me in the first place. I never understood traveling all the way to Florida to get a child if they lived in Palm Springs. The answer's so obvious now that I'm embarrassed I didn't see it earlier. It's because Eddie made them. They didn't love me, but that wasn't my fault. I was always enough.
She's having this deep character
Her earth is shattered.
development. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so amazed. Like, and I believe it. This is not like I'm throwing it in here for like the lesson learned, or I'm throwing in this for character development's sake. No, this is like her having this really deep moment with herself internally and coming to this realization that she's always been enough. She's
Right.
never had the upper hand until now.
And she's always looked for that approval in other people that never loved
Yes.
her because they were forced into this. Yeah. Poppy,
Sick.
I'd hug her, you know? Mm-hmm. And Eddie tells her bravo again, and this time she thanks him because she's that bitch. And she tries to sit up and is in a ton of pain. I assume her spine's broken. Like, this fall, this is a
Something's
part of the
broken.
book where I was like,
Yeah. Sure.
yeah. This is like, I don't know. I've listened to enough true crime that I've heard of people in horrific situations actually getting up from shit and making it happen. So, God bless. But she tries to sit up. She's in a ton of pain, manages to sit up anyway. And she wonders if her spine's broken and realizes that the half of her arm that she had shoved in Eddie's mouth is missing, which has to be terrifying.
Yeah.
And she charts her path to the top of the mountain to get to Marlowe, which is the only place she wants to be, and starts taking it one hill at a time. And on the journey, she wonders how she was able to resist Eddie's powers. Was it the power of love or something else?
It's the power of love. That's what I'm believing.
The power of love, baby. So when she finally makes it to the top, she finds a lodge and the door is locked. She breaks a window and heads in, calling out for Marlowe. And the tram that they were on is stopped at the top. And this makes her hopeful because she can see it up there. And as she walks into the station, she's surrounded by taxidermied animals. And she sees a bear and a cub taxidermied and breaks down, crying and apologizing. This was a bonkers moment.
Yeah.
But,
Yes.
I mean, she was scotch taped together, you know? Like, If it wasn't this, it was going to be something else. So she says, I'm not exactly talking to the bear or any other particular one of the long dead animals gathered around me. I'm talking to the bodies. All the bodies. She feels such guilt for the life that she has been living. Not only for the bodies, but how she's treated her daughter and all of it. And somewhere in the distance, she hears a thump and heads towards the stairs to try to find the source. And she sees a dazzling sunrise coming through the windows. And like this, again, so visual.
Yeah.
So visual. As the sun comes up, she thinks to herself that the city's waking up, phones and televisions powering on to witness one of the strangest local news reports of all time. Everything is out in the open now. Eddie's 20 minutes of control don't make people forget, which means that there's finally survivors. For centuries, Eddie worked hard to hide his presence, but I doubt he managed to cover everything up before plummeting from that gondola. So people are finally going to know what he is, what he did. She walks through the door to the restaurant and spots Marlo and breaks down again. And she tells her she loves her and everything's going to be okay. But Poppy realizes that they're finally in the light and Marlo is going to have to face how she looks. And she says, there's no more shadows to hide my new body. In the window's reflection, I can see the faint image of an unrecognizable face. A face that's my own now. Mom, Marlo asks. Yes, sweetie. Mom, she repeats. And Poppy says, I don't want you to be scared of the way I look. This is so sad.
I hate
Don't get me right now. I hated this part too. And Marlo says, I'm not scared of the way you look. You're my mom. Baby girl. And Poppy says to herself, I've cried enough already. I don't want to start again. Instead, I reach out and place my hand over Marlo's. We turn back to the window, watching the sunrise together.
Final girling with your daughter.
That is, yeah. Gorgina.
Love this. I love this.
And that's where we leave chapter 15 and start chapter 16, which is the final chapter of the book. And it's called Demonetized, which is so funny.
Yes, they have the chapter titles are incredible in this book. This one is top tier.
Chapter 16, and it opens up with Poppy saying that she used to have long nights, but now she has long days. And she tells Marlo that they're leaving in 5 minutes, and Marlo's out there making a PB&J. And this is when we grow aware that there's been a time jump. So Poppy says, 3 years ago, I would have been begging her to chart her own path like this, to seize the day, to make her own lunch, to pack her own bags. I've stopped coming down so hard on her about all that stuff. But now, surprise, I can't get her to stop going above and beyond. I see a lot of myself in this, but there's also something distinct about Marlo's behavior, an update in our lineage that I can't help but admiring. She's not a killer, she's a creator. She puts more effort and zest into life than I ever could have asked for. But instead of doing all this as an attempt to get more, she does it to give. I have no idea how this incredible girl grew out of the fucked up childhood I provided, but I suppose that's kind of the way it goes. The hope is that each generation improves upon the last, sees their mistakes, and figures out all the shit they never got quite right. As bad as I am, I'm no Eddie Michaels, and Marlo is neither of us.
Hell yeah.
And this is so in line with Eddie talking about like art being the meaning of life and creation and living life with a little pizzazz and all that. So this statement is so inherently Eddie.
Right.
But Marlo is not doing it at all in the way Eddie was. And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So we learn that Marlo is now 8, and Poppy goes out to the car, the AC's on full blast, and the back is filled with flowers ready to be delivered. I love this full circle moment, because when she gets the phone call at the restaurant for Eddie, she says, I deliver flowers. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
That little moment really got me. She looks out at her new, smaller home, and it's the first place that she's lived where she doesn't feel like it's a burden. So, like, our queen has freed herself. Biblically.
180, yeah.
Love this for her. And she looks down at her phone and sees that one of her posts is getting a lot of attention. And she says that she's getting better at scheduling content and filming while Marlowe's at school instead of taking up family time. And the scars and the prosthetic arm have brought a lot of trolls to her account, but even more actual followers. Her spending is down due to a more modest lifestyle, and the $500,000 that was dropped into her account really helped out too. That could help me,
I bet.
you know?
Yeah, I was
I'm
going to
just
say that
saying.
would be
I
life-changing.
And she has enough money at this point that she can even donate to a cancer foundation in Noah's name every year, which is so sweet and such a lovely way to honor him.
Yeah.
And they drive through town once Marlowe gets in the car, and they see all the landmarks from that night with Eddie, which I'd have to move.
Oh, I could not be No.
I don't know if I'd be able to face that. Mm-mm. As they drive, we get more info. So the investigation into that night with Eddie didn't go well. No body was found. And the investigation was so bizarre that the results were just a wash. The events were determined to be mass hysteria, which is crazy. She says that like special ops came in and tried to investigate and no one could get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, just sweep it under the rug.
She thinks to herself sometimes that it was mass hysteria until she looks in the mirror or sees the money sitting in her bank account, because she is living the effects of this every day of her life, for good and bad. Mm-hmm. She hired someone to trace the money back to figure out where it came from, and it came from an anonymous crypto wallet, and the only other transactions on the account were for bulk orders of Eddie Michaels albums on their release days. So he was using the money to skew his record numbers
the whole time. I love that.
And she was able to track down the call, and it came from the Palm Springs medical examiner's office. And workers there reported that their coworker was leaving early, and when they asked her why, she said, "I'm going to light myself on fire." So you had asked last episode where the call came from. Mm-hmm. And I was like, but we know. We know where the call came from.
You know how I get at the ends of these books? Like, I feel like there's like, I'm like so heightened.
You tap out in the last.
The last chapter, same happened with You Won't Forget Me, and I've noticed this about myself. I do it with my own books too. I'm like, what happened in the epilogue? It's always the fucking epilogue. I'm like, what happened here?
And this isn't an epilogue, but it certainly feels like one.
It is, yeah. It's serving as it.
Yeah. Marlowe and Poppy pass the gondola station, turn off, and Marlowe says that she wants to ride it again because they shouldn't be scared forever, and they should enjoy it one last time. And Poppy says, "Kids are so resilient," and Marlowe nods in the back seat and says, "Just like you." Like, what a little duo.
Love that. I just
Cuties.
love full circle this is in her relationship with Marlowe.
They arrive at their final stop, and there's one bouquet of flowers left. And they're back in Palm Springs at the cemetery, and they place the flowers in front of Noah's grave. And every year, she says that they do this flower delivery. We are going to end on a little quote because this book ends in the best way possible. "I'm here out of respect, not just for Noah, but for the grand cosmic way that life and death intersect. The aching love that swells in my heart is real and important, but I don't feel it like this for every single person during our annual rounds. I visit them anyway. The phantom of each victim admiring their fresh cut flowers is a wonderful, poetic little piece of imagery, but it's one I still wrestle with. I don't know where I land on the subject of heaven or hell or ghosts, or sparks that linger on and on after we go. I probably never will, but at the end of the day, none of that matters. If I can't quite be here for the soul, that's fine. I'm here for the body." Which is exactly how the book opens up, but in such a different way.
Perfect.
Their little cross Palm Springs tour to give flowers to every victim.
Come on.
Chuck, Chuck, we say this every time. I don't know how he writes the most bonkers shit that are so dripping in humanity.
Yeah.
There is something so special about his ability to do that.
Yeah. He is writing like not a lot of people out here, and I think that's what makes him so successful in like the realm of kind of the weird lit, the horror realm, you know, the sci-fi, but this, like, any reader should be able to like pick this up even if they don't love horror, or even Lucky Day, and really like see the value in the writing and how it is delivered. Like, literally masterclass. He's such an incredible writer, and that makes me want to read his shitty stuff even more so. His little novellas.
We have to like, get in at least one.
I know.
You know, we need to know what would be your pick. Pounded in the what by the what?
I don't know. Let's see. There's a Reddit thread that just came up that says, "Can someone explain Chuck Tingle to me?" Girl.
So he didn't start writing real books for like until kind of recently. He was just pumping out those fucked up novellas for the longest time.
You gotta practice somehow, I guess.
Hey, ain't that the truth?
Oh, he calls them tinglers.
This is it. Pounded in the butt by my handsome, sentient library card, who seems otherworldly, but in reality is just a natural part of the priceless resources our library system provides.
Let's do it. Let's read the read.
My review was created 3 days ago on Fable from Lena. It is a 1-star review. This was not for me. Unlikable, obnoxious, cringy characters, boring, and unmemorable. Other than showing some grotesque violence for cheap shock value, not much going on. I read another Tingle book that was just okay. So now I definitely know I'm not vibing with this author. This is a one-sided beef, honey.
Yeah. Yeah, girl. Not you.
What you got?
Not for you. I have a 5-star.
Not for you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just know yourself.
There's no lag, and we can't talk to each other anymore.
I know, it's so weird. Yes, I have a 5-star on Goodreads from Holly Hart's books. This is a little longer, but I think it captures everything that I also feel. Nobody commits to a ridiculous premise quite like Chuck Tingle, and somehow he keeps turning them into books that actually have something to say. Fabulous Bodies is equal parts disgusting, satire, horror, and heart, and I had an absolute blast with it. It constantly walks the line between making you laugh and making you cringe at the guts and brains flying at you. Chuck Tingle remains one of the most original authors working today, and at this point, I'll happily follow him into whatever wonderfully unhinged idea he comes up with next. Easy 5 stars. I would say I feel very similar, and I have recently read Chuck Tingle with Lucky Day on my Pride TBR, and his books are incredible.
Yeah.
And I want him to keep writing shit like this. Don't ever stop.
Same. I would love to know how he made the leap from... First of all, actually, I want to know how he started writing those novellas and then how he made the leap to being traditionally published.
Yeah. Chuck, if you want to come on the pod, just let us know.
Chuck, if you want to come on the pod, you have to tell us.
Please.
Please, we'd love to talk to you. We're so sorry that we couldn't come to Philly.
Guys, if we only knew.
Had we known.
Well, let us know what you guys think. I loved this pick. I know it was like a very sharp turn from what we usually do, but like very much so what we read, and I'm glad we did it. I know we were like, we don't know what's going to happen. It was an arc. It was a great pick in my humble opinion, but yeah, I'm always curious to see, you know, with it being so new, everyone having it on their TBRs, what you guys think. Let's start a conversation. We have a Fable.
Yeah.
This is a good
Join us
plug
on
for
Fable. Yeah, talk to us on Fable. DM us if you really want to get in. We'll reply too.
And we will. Get us on Threads too. I feel like that is such an approachable place to have a convo about this. I love that.
If you guys want to talk to us, you have to tell us.
You have to actually do it.
We would love to talk about these books with you. And we also know that we've been picking really new books if you're listening to this episode 4 months from when it was published, we still want to talk to you about it.
Yeah. Still hit our line. These are like, I feel like every book we've done on the pod, every deep dive we've done for a book, it has been, I will talk to people in my life about it. I'm like, yeah, I have gotten so deep into this book, I cannot get out. So keep telling me what you think. So yes, come to us.
Come to me, listeners.
Come to me, Louis.
Come to me, listeners. Come to me, divas.
Come to me, divas. And until then, we
will see you at the library. And we will see you at the book fair at Bel Air. And leave us a 5-star review. And follow us and subscribe wherever you're listening.
Where's
and
my
tell
pink
your
dust?
Friends. And where's my pink dust?
A little blush on there.
We'll see you at the library.
See you next time, divas. Bye.